Hey guys, this is CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. Uh, Enjoying my view. It's hard to tell from here, but my tree reflects in each one of my windows. I think we saw it in the one over there, but it reflects in both of them, and kind of makes the effects look a little bit uh, larger than what they are. So that's kind of cool. Um, Yeah, I like my little one bedroom apartment. It's a two bedroom actually, but I've converted the one bedroom into like storage for musical instruments and things like that. So, okay, so well, I'm really excited that Christmas is here. Uh, Not because I'm getting gifts like when I was like a little kid, but because I actually get to give gifts to the children in my life. And it's so funny because it's like I don't have children of my own, but I have, my sister's children. They're adults now, and so they have children of their own. And it's like, as anyone will tell you, the further away you get from an immediate generation, the further away you get from that, the the bar becomes like lower as far as your expectations. Uh, Looking at my hair, I don't like the way it really looks on the phone. I love the way it looks, visually in person. Yeah, the mirror's got two faces, but your high definition camera on your phone has about six or seven faces. You know what I'm saying? So it's, yeah, gotta uh, keep that in mind. Uh, okay, so and then also because I kind of hold it close when I'm talking and everything, so it's like my eyes tend to cross. I have this like whole lazy eye thing anyway, but um, so yeah, I'm very fortunate. One of the reasons why I'm close to my sister's children is because I'm close to my sister. Now we have had like a siblinghood, like a lot of people, where we go through periods where we're either frustrated or burn out on each other or something like that and have to take breaks. Sometimes we've lived apart from each other, uh, so we don't, communicate as often as we'd like to. Like if I've lived in another state or city or something like that, especially back in the days before cell phones, because we're of that generation where you had to wait for a certain time after dark to get like the what was it the long distance uh, premium rates or something like that. And then by that time, like if you're working, you're in bed by that time, or if you're still like going out and partying, you're out partying. So whatever. Cell phones didn't go like I mean, you could always pretty much get them since like the 40s or 50s or something like that. But they weren't like they were at first. They started at being car phone kind of things, or maybe little gadgets uh, that you had to have. But it's like, yeah, but they just, they weren't widely available uh, until like I started to see them pop up handheld in the 80s, in the early 80s, but only like the richest of the rich would have them. And even on TV, they were still uh, car phones were the thing, a phone in your car. People didn't walk because they were big. The cellular phones were big. So, uh, and then so I'm just saying, when I was younger, when I lived apart from my sister, we couldn't call like we did. But I am very blessed to feel so close to a sister, uh, and it's like we've been told by some people that uh, uh, our siblinghood kind of you know inspires other people. That the closeness of it, that like, oh gee, I wish that I was close to my siblings, or better yet, hey, now we're going to get close or something like that. But listen, let me tell you, we're we've had some words over the years. But one of the things, we moved around a lot when we were kids, and so for me, always being like the new person, I didn't have a lot of social stuff, social rooting when I first got to a new place. And so largely it was my sister and I, and we had each other's backs. And we lived in a lot of rural areas. We didn't always live right in the middle of a city. But yeah, um, we're really, really, we're not just siblings. I mean, she's one of my best friends because it's how many, I think about it like this, how many people enjoy just hanging out with their sibling? Like I enjoy going to concerts. Uh, or dinner or something like that. A lot of times people get together with their brothers and sisters or something just to catch up, and see what's up and everything. But no, we really enjoy each other's company. We're gonna go. As a matter of fact, my sister through her work, she's got tickets to a hockey game, so we're going Friday to see a hockey game. So that's really kind of cool. And then last week, I got together with some friends, and we went to see some friends of mine who were playing music at a local restaurant and everything like that. So that's kind of cool. And I just feel, I'm really grateful for family. I'm really, really grateful for friends, but I'm especially grateful in this moment for my sister, who is a good person. Uh, Boy, did we go through challenges when we were younger, especially young adults, about learning boundaries and just it comes to like you know it's like, hey, sometimes it's okay to say uh, not right now or later or something like that. And then we learned, hey, to be considerate with each other's time. Don't cancel on each other at the last minute, that kind of stuff. But yeah, just ultimately, just this human respect that we have for each other is kind of cool. When I think there are a lot of people who are estranged, yeah, from their families. At some time uh, through my late 20s and early 30s, I was particularly estranged from my family. I know that when I was 19, 20, 21, uh, I was not living in town, and I was running around, living a wild, crazy life, uh, getting in all sorts of trouble, by the way, things that I shouldn't even be doing at any age, much less, when I should have been trying to put a life together. Uh, there was a little bit of estrangement, but this was different. I was at my late 20s, early 30s, and I had like a major uh, life shift. And I won't say a midlife crisis, but I had just a change in my uh, a psychic change in my thinking. I had a psychic change. I had a big, yeah, I was kicked off by a change in my finances. Where I was no longer like the high baller that I was for quite a few years there, uh, due to other associations, not due to a specific achievement, by the way. So, but I remember, yeah, for about 2 or 3 years, yeah, I was definitely uh, feeling estranged from my family. So I know what that's like. And so, in the spirit of holiday connectivity, if you happen to be out there and you happen to be away from your family, for some reason you don't feel that you could, uh, on a regular or something like that, maybe this can be a holiday season in which you can reach out to your family and say, "Hey, I just want you to know, hey, I'm thinking of you," that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it should only happen on holidays, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we have people. There's someone on my mind right now that's like, uh, kind of going through uh, his own experience, and he's a family member and everything, and it's like, yeah, I reach out, but he's not like overly responsive, but you got to let people go through what they go through and feel what they feel and everything. But yeah, it's like generally just try to keep those doors open. If you can, reach out and let the other people know that you might be estranged from that. That hey, I'm receptive, and I would love to catch up and see what's up and everything. Um, at some point, Yeah, even if there's reason for resentment, sometimes, and we feel sometimes just you gotta let those things go. You know, uh, in the end, and I mean the end, like when we die, none of this matters anyway. And our mortality, at least on this earth, is how people remember us. Like our immortality, which, by the way, uh, is not uh, is not a memory that will live forever. It will only last for as long as people remember us and talk about us and everything. But so it's the relationships and how we relate to each other. That's what matters in life, and nothing else matters. You know, uh, and how we are receptive and how we treat other people, and our willingness to uh, overcome obstacles or really break the bonds that keep us distant from each other. And I'm speaking from experience. And you know, and you know, uh, a changing of cycles. If you find yourself in a pattern where the same thing happens over and over, well, that's okay. In order to preserve relationships, sometimes you break the cycles, and that's what I meant. Something like with my sister and I, we've learned, uh, uh, hey, like no is also an option. It's okay to say no. It's okay to not be the rescuer. That kind of thing. So 'cause we've both been on both sides of that. Um, but yeah, because most people, I can't speak for the world. If I can just relate, I would say even in times of estrangement, uh, the love is still there. It may be it may be disappointed, and it may be tinted with anger, but the love is still there, and that's probably why the anger is felt so strongly. You know, uh, and so yeah, I don't know. I just want to encourage anyone, and others like my 7 or 8 followers or whatever. But just anyone who happens to come across this, whatever. My hope is that uh, if there are any rifts that need to be mended, that they get mended, and what has to happen is that we got to stop picking at the wounds. Sometimes we have to leave things alone, but healing does happen, and so if it's possible, reach out to the people. I remember being part of this estrangement that I'm talking about, and I'm 30, 31 years old, somewhere around there, and I was distant from my family back in Shreveport, and I'm down in Florida, and I was partying, and this young dude, uh, was just being quizzical and just asking me, hey, where are you from? What about your family and everything? And I told him, I said, well, I don't really, at the time I didn't have a cell phone. I hadn't been uh, down there too long to get settled, uh, long enough to get roots to party though. And anyway, he's like, you should reach out and you should talk to your mom, because one day you're going to wish that you could. You're going to want to, and you're not going to be able to, but you wish that you could. And he was like his mom recently had died, and he was like a 17-year-old kid, and he was like, and it was like, that is like the one of the most awesome bits of advice that I've ever gotten from another human being. And that is the benefit of experience. And there was something that came over him, as he was talking, and he didn't give a lecture or anything like that. He just changed, and I know it was a sadness and a forlornness and a missing of his own mother, who had just died. But there was something worldly and beyond his, even beyond his experience, to be able to express it in such a way. So that was cool. That was cool. And so yeah, I did. I took that to heart, and then I reached out to family, my mother first, and yeah, it was cool. Uh, so yeah, so reach out to people, and you know, um, try to keep those communications open. Try to try to cultivate healthy relationships, and sometimes that means um, easing into it, and sometimes for me, around extended family that I don't see all the time, sometimes that is maybe going to a family event and staying an hour and a half, and then getting the fuck out, before it gets weird, you know. And then sometimes I have backup, and we have like a code word or an escape for when it's time to go or whatever. But yeah, that's like, yeah. Uh, there's all sorts of ways to be a part of the family experience, even with people that we feel estranged from. And you never know what kind of wonderful blessings will come from that. So, eh. Anyway, that's my little holiday thing. Uh, just in gratitude of my sister. My sister is probably one of the greatest gifts uh, in my life, and I feel that she'd say the same thing about me. So that's kind of cool. And I hope everybody has those types of connections, because not every soulmate is um, is a romantic soulmate. Some soulmates are like really awesome friends. Some soulmates are cousins, or in my case, uh, sibling. I have other people I consider soulmates too. There's more than one soulmate. Ironically, I'm not like a overly romantic type of dude. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'll get off my little thing. Actually, I'm gonna go fry some fish, man. So yeah, fried catfish, one of my favorites. Okay, so peace and love. Bye.